Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be talking about some, well, disappointing news for this state of play that just happened, and as well also even more kind of community perceptions on why a lot of people kind of thought it was a waste of time, and while some people did think it was cool to have more optionality for, say, people in Japan, people were also saying, why are we doing this, and let's never do this again, PlayStation. So let's go talk about the community reaction, the brand new console, games upcoming, and kind of my overall thoughts on why some people are upset and why there actually was some cool things involved, although we have to kind of get out of our box to appreciate it. So let's go and dive on it. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have all the giveaway links down below, the Twitter links down below, Twitch links down below, or the second channel. We've been uploading over there, so check that out. And I appreciate y'all for watching. Let's dive on in. So if you guys missed it, the last hour or so, at least when I'm uploading this video, there was a brand new state of play that just went live. It was pretty nifty. It was more of a Japanese focused one. And I think some people are kind of against it. People are like, what's the point? More indie focused. It just wasn't like the craziest thing out there, which I think most people were expecting. Like, it wasn't a mainstay American state of play. It was more like, here's cool indie games, here's cool updates. Now, I'll give you guys the full list, but some big things are like Monster Hunter Wilds having another brand new update. Brand new update for Katamari coming to PlayStation. Gran Turismo 7 having like some crazy 24-hour racing, which tell me if you guys yourselves would ever even be a part of that. Like, it was more laid back. Like, you guys can kind of see even as a little bit more like weeby, Japanesey, cozy style, and just a lot of just things mostly for Japan. Like, it literally is the state of play Japan, so it makes sense. Also things like Dragon Quest, etc. I think there's also Octopath Traveler 0, like the prequel. So like, there was cool stuff. A lot more indie focused. Like, we didn't have some crazy game coming from like PlayStation Japan or something that was like super groundbreaking. Like I said, I'll give you guys the whole list in a second, but like, it was there for a reason. You know, we also still have a big focus on what we discussed yesterday. If you guys saw that video, we're gonna touch on that quickly, is that the PlayStation 5 there's a brand new version of it coming out that was announced here in Japan, which is probably the main reason why this event happened, to showcase off these cute indie games, which, like I said, games like this, or games in, like, say, Japan itself as a whole, are more focused on JRPGs, story-driven games, and obviously different types of IPs. Now, we actually covered this yesterday, or in, say, America. The number one bigger games out here are like Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6. Like, those are like the big head honchos, sports games, etc. While in Japan, while they are still buying games like Battlefield 6, they've also had a big prioritization when it comes to, you know, JRPGs and games like that. This has kind of been the big reason for it. Now, they also switched up the vibe. They have different people. Like, I think this is good. Now, obviously, I'd want some banging AAA games, like, don't get me wrong, and that's why I think a lot of people are upset, because they just want a little bit more. They're like, why did I just waste an hour watching this all? Like what, you know, what is this? You know, in Kenobi, one store, many stories. I don't know what this is, but like, it's cool. It's different. It's an indie game. It's something out there that's, you know, not the usual AAA God of War Spider-Man. And I mean, I'd play this. I played Supermarket Simulator, where I was selling random toys to people online. Like, and that's fine. Like, I would unironically play this. You guys can make fun of me, but I'm especially on Twitch, these are the weird games where I can play up in the background, and I'm like, sure, dude, let me go make my own random convenience store. Like, why not? Like, why not? This is low-key kind of seems kind of fun to me. Well, like I said, there's just a lot of like indie games, a lot of indie style games. You can kind of browse through it, or if you guys are curious, I'll give you guys, like I said, the list. But like, there wasn't anything big. There wasn't a AAA game, but it was a different vibe. Like, this studio that said's cool, and well, like I said, people were a little bit on the disappointed end. So we had some well, first, let me give you guys the full list of everything, if anything kind of sparks your eye. BlazBlue, Entropy Effect, no idea. Broken Lore and Follow, Coffee Talk Tokyo, Damon and Baby, Dragon Quest Reimagine. One of the bigger things out there is probably Elden Ring Night Rain. They have a DLC for upcoming soon, as you guys can probably see over here. Fatal Frame as well, Crimson Butterfly Remake. That's like they allow OG. And this is like Japanese OG stuff. Fate Trigger, Inokibe One Store, Mini Stories, Koryoran, like Marvel Token. This is actually kind of a big one. It's like a fighting game. Motion Wreck, Nevergrave, The Witch and Curse, No Sleep for Kame Date, Octopath Traveler 0, Tokyo Extreme Racer, and Wandering Sword. As I also mentioned too, there was Monster Hunter Wilds updates for December and Gran Turismo. So if people were even looking through some of the overall vibes, and they're like, hey, did you even like this? And some people are like, yeah, it's cool to kind of see where Japan's going. Like, happy it was good enough, nothing amazement, whatever. Some people are gonna hate on it. And we also had some people like this guy saying, pointless, never do this again. Dang. Nearly nothing new. This didn't even need to be a show. It could have just been a PS blog post. Well, some people we like the variety, and it's cool to see different games and stuff too as well. Or like, super excited for Octopath Traveler 0. And this is more for the Japanese market to get PS5s, which we covered yesterday and throughout this video. But like, people are like, yeah, this is cool. We like the format. It was nifty. It was well produced, etc. Good variety of games. Not a bad state of DLC. Which is, I think, is kind of them making fun of it, because they're like, not a bad state of DLC, ha ha ha. Like, it's all these games that no one cares about, like Gran Turismo or Monster Hunter. But a lot of people are like, this might be exciting, but it just felt like a huge waste of time. You know, complete drivel. Anyone defending this must be a paid shill. I mean, the DLCs look cool. Waste of time. It was okay. I appreciate it was mostly for Japan and their price drop, etc. Nothing for me. Based on the lineup, like, you know, nothing kind of seems like they're going to convince Japanese gamers to come out there. Horrible show. This is more of a statement for Japan. Total waste of time. Like, you guys can see all of these comments. Like, there's so many people in this ecosystem. Like, look at this. One of the worst in recent memory. Short answer, meh. Long answer, meh. Like, it's like people really weren't too hyped up for it, you know? And that is like a kind of what we talked about yesterday, where people were getting upset that Japan was getting this special treatment. So this was like the bigger news. We covered this, as I said yesterday. Sony announces cheaper Japanese language-only PS5 just for Japan. So the whole idea of this state of play was to kind of push the PS5 into the Japanese ecosystem more, because the Nintendo Switch 2 is taking over. And obviously the Nintendo Switch 1 had a massive foothold in Japan and the Japanese world. And that's where people are like, oh. Because obviously us as Americans checking this out and we're seeing all these games, we're like, oh, cool. Like, we get something new, or like Night Rain. Like, there was cool stuff there. But it wasn't anything that I think was really worth as a state of play. I kind of agree. Like, it was cool, but it could have just been YouTube videos or tweets or whatever it might be. But we're not Japan, and they're trying to go and appeal to the Japanese audience with OG style games like those, like, you know, Fatal Frames, or say Dragon Quest, or say Monster Hunter. All these games are phenomenally huge over here in the first place. But intriguing to see. Nonetheless, so they did also announce the new console we covered with more details, which is around a $350 PS5 console. It's for the Digital Edition, which is around $150 cheaper than the American version over here, and this will be coming out in about 2 weeks in Japan. Now, the intriguing thing, and why also people were upset yesterday on the early leaks and even now, is like, as an American, maybe we're just being selfish, a little smidgen bit, because it's not for us. So obviously I'm like, you know, like I just want it for us to be good. Like, I want new games, so maybe we're greedy. I don't know. But I think that's an okay, valid take to have, just in my opinion. But people were just like, well, this was just for them to shovel more consoles to Japan. Which, what's wrong with that? Your PlayStation, they didn't hype it up. It's a casual state of play, and as I mentioned, more JRPG style games. It makes a lot of sense for it. But yeah, this is a pure PS5 just for Japan. The console language will only be able to be set in Japanese. So like, people in Japan aren't going to buy like a million PS5 consoles for $350,000 and then like ship it to China, India, America, wherever, and try to arbitrage the money, which I think is fine. Like, that's understandable, I guess. But it just sucks. Like, us in America, once again, like, they're trying to grow the market. It's a lost leader. They're a Japanese-based company anyway with Sony. Like, it all makes sense. Like, the games they promoted makes sense. Trying to get more people in Japan to buy their consoles to compete with Nintendo makes sense. Cheaper price, because this is actually unironically cheaper than the Nintendo Switch 2 with better specs as well. Like, it all makes sense. And like, this is what Xbox should have been doing to compete with PlayStation. So PlayStation maybe has the money, the funding, or maybe like the tariff costs aren't as bad. So imagine America, we're paying extra tariffs because of, well, just tariff stuff. So if you're making things in, say, China and then shipping them to Japan, you don't have those exuberant tariffs to have to increase up the price point of the consoles. And that makes everything a little bit easier for Japan to go and deal with. So at the end of the day, I think people are kind of upset about it. because Japan's getting a better deal. They got the games, and there wasn't anything super crazy in this state of play. But I think it's just more the world keeps on turning, we keep on going, and while I wish we had a $350 console, at the end of the day, what can you really go and do? So give me your thoughts and comments on it all, the state of play, the consoles, everything. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Join the giveaway linked down below. I'll talk to you guys all soon.